everyone and welcome back to my channel.
Today is a mega video. I am sharing my best 20 DIYs of 2020, so let's get started. I found my inspiration piece on Pinterest and it was priced for $240.91. So I decided to go ahead and recreate mine for a lot less than that price. Mine cost only $8.75. I picked up 7 of these placemats from Dollar Tree. Then after I cut the tag, I bring 1 dinner plate and 1 salad plate. And what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna trace the plate on the placemat to create the small circle like this. Then I am gonna cut it and I will need to make 2 of this small size. And I am gonna repeat the same thing with the dinner plate to create the medium size circle, which I will need to cut 3 of them. Now I have 2 full size, 3 medium size, and 2 small size. Next step, I will take them outside to spray paint them. I'm starting off with these 3 and I will spray paint them with this Rust-Oleum metallic silver. Then I have these 2 and I'm gonna spray paint them with this Rust-Oleum fast drying black. Lastly, I have these 2 and I'm gonna spray paint them with this Rust-Oleum fast drying gold. And once they are all dry, I go ahead and hot glue them together. So now I'm gonna try my best to replicate the original one. So here is how I'm gonna place them. And once I like how I want them, I will go ahead and hot glue them down. And here is the finished product. I absolutely love how it turned out. Super simple, super chic. I think this was the easiest project I ever did and it looks perfect above this console table. Today I am also teaming up with a bunch of creative friends here on YouTube. They are also gonna be making mega video of their best 20 DIYs of 2020, and this was co-hosted by Heidi at Heidi DIY and Lianep at DIY Beauty on Purpose. I will link their channels and a playlist down in the description box below for you to check out. Next project, I am gonna show you guys how to make faux succulent arrangement. So I'm gonna use this tray that I thrifted long time ago and this Pampered Chef caddy that I had for so long and I don't use anymore. So I thought it would be perfect for this project. And this greenery were from Dollar Tree and I have these succulents. Some were from Dollar Tree and some were from HomeSense. I am also gonna use some of these river rocks, some floral foam and some floral moss that I picked up from Dollar Tree. So at first I'm gonna paint this tray with this acrylic white paint that I had from Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna paint the outside line from the top and the outside. No need to paint the bottom because it will be covered. So I gave this tray a couple of coats using blow dryer in the middle for speed dry. Now that it is dry, I am gonna place this caddy here in the middle of the tray. Then I am adding these floral foam, which I had to cut them in half so they can fit around the caddy like this. Then I am adding some floral moss, just enough to cover the floral foam. And then I am adding some of these river rocks. Then to fill the caddy, I am just gonna insert some of these wrapping paper in these holes like this. Then I will add some moss to cover everything. Now it's time to add some succulents. I am just gonna play around and place them all over the tray. Finally, I am adding this greenery stems on the top and there. I absolutely love the finished look and I think it looks beautiful and it will be perfect on any table.
And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Antoinette and this is my Simply a Chic DIY and decor channel,
where I share lots of beautiful and affordable DIY and decor ideas. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out any new videos. Also give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out and I really appreciate that. And if you love mega videos, I will link a playlist down in the description box below of some seasonal DIYs that I put together for you to entertain yourself while you are crafting or working on a project. So make sure to check them out and hopefully be inspired. For this project, I'm gonna create this home sign and I have these 4 signs that I picked up from dollar store and I'm gonna use the back side of it only. I'm also using this flower from Dollar Tree and these letters that I hand draw. So at first I'm starting off cutting this jute to paint the back of each sign using this acrylic white paint from dollar store. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint all of them and allow them to dry. Next, I will be cutting these letters that I hand draw on a piece of paper. You could buy them ready-made at any craft store or make them on a Cricut machine if you have one. Also, I forgot to mention that I will be using this placemat from Dollar Tree as well to create my letters. But first, I am cutting this circle that says enjoy every moment in case I will need it for another project. So here I am placing each letter on the placemat and trace it over the placemat. And then when I am done with all 3 letters, I'm gonna go ahead and cut each letter. Now that I have all my letters H, M, and E ready, and I will be using this flower for letter O, I am removing this welcome part to save it for another project. So now I will be paint everything with this acrylic silver paint from dollar store, and I'm gonna give them a couple coats of paint to give it that galvanized look. Now that my signs are dry, I'm gonna create some lines in between these things, just like how they have them in the original sign, to make it look like blocks. So I'm gonna go ahead, use a pencil and do that on all 4 boards. Then I'm gonna sand the edges a little bit with this scrub. Then I'm just gonna dry brush over it with this acrylic Burnett from dollar store, or you could use any brown to give it that distressed look. Then I use a little bit of same Burnett color, mix it with some water very well. Then I brush it lightly on each board like this to give it that brushed finished wood. Next, I glued the letters on each board. I use hot glue. You could use E6000 or any glue you have in hand. Lastly, I decided to add some greenery, and I had this foliage floral in hand. So I took few off the stems and I glued them on the top of each board. Then I used a little twine to make small bow and hot glue it on top like this. And I think it looks so cute. To hang them, I used same jute that was there but on the other way. I hung them horizontally on this wall, but you could hang them vertically if you like to. This wall comes in across the back door of our home when we first enter from the garage. So this sign would be the first thing to see whenever my family or my clients enter the door. I absolutely love how beautiful this turned out. Next DIY, I am starting with this 3-tier tray, and I will need some hot glue, E6000. These candle holders were great finds from Goodwill. I only paid 50 cents for each, so I'm gonna use them for this project. You could also use some nice candlestick holders at the Dollar Tree as well. This pizza pan from Dollar Tree and 2 burner covers also from Dollar Tree. So I'm gonna use this candle holder as a base for my tray, and I'm gonna add some hot glue on the top here, then glue the largest tray on top of it like this, trying to glue it on the center. Then I'm gonna glue the first candle holder upside down to the center of tray. I'm adding glue to the bottom of this candle holder and adding the second tray on top of it. Again, I'm gonna repeat same steps to glue third tray on the top. At this point, feel free to paint it in white or any color you prefer. I will spray paint the whole thing using this crayon brushed metallic. So I am taking it outside in the garage and I will spray it there. And I will allow it to dry completely before I add any decorations on it. I don't recommend using this tier tray to display food because of the spray paint. I am planning to style it for fall, Christmas, spring, and Easter, and here is the finished look. for this project, I am sharing how I created this beautiful centerpiece using some mint twigs that I picked up from my backyard while we were doing some gardening cleaning. There is so much you can do with twigs or branches. After I collected them, I gathered and sorted them into sizes. Then I tied them with elastic and I made 2 bunches. Then I trimmed the ends as you see, and when I got them to the size that I liked, then I added some water in a big bin and I added 2 cups of Clorox to the water and 2 cups of vinegar. Then I put the sticks into the mixture. Then I put this heavy pot on top to keep them down in the water, and I let them soak for overnight to get off any dirt. Then on the next day I removed them from the water and placed them on this old towel to dry. At this point you can use them as is when it's dry or spray paint them. I decided to spray paint them, but I didn't have any brown spray, so I just hung them on a rope like this. Then I added some of this Burnett acrylic paint into spray bottle. Then I add some water, shake it well, then spray paint them. Once they were dry, I arranged them like a swag. Then I tied this twine around the middle like this. Then I gathered from around the house some flowers, floral stems, and some greenery, and I started arranging everything. Here's the finished look of my swag centerpiece. I really love how simple yet chic it turned out, and I think it looks perfect for Mother's Day or spring table. Next DIY, I am sharing with you guys how I DIY'd these pumpkin topiaries using items from Dollar Tree and few stuff from around the house. So to make one of these pumpkin topiaries, I will need 2 of these 3D wreaths that I picked up from Dollar Tree. One is bigger size and one is small, some Spanish moss, this berries garland that I had from Michael's a while ago, this leaf garland that was from Dollarama, and I am also using this garland that I had from Michael's a while ago. I'm starting off assembling the big wreath, and here on the back side it shows the instructions. I'm just gonna try to gently press on each loop like this to form it like a shape of pumpkin. And then I am gonna place this metal fixture over the wreath, then secure the ends of metal fixture by wrapping around the wire like this. And once the top is done, I will go ahead and do the same thing on the bottom as well. And here is how it looks so far. I think it's really cute. Again, I will do the exact same thing on the smaller wreath. is that I already added some baby rocks in this planter that I had around the house, and then I added some Spanish moss and I play with it until I covered all the rocks. Then I placed the larger wreath in the middle and then I secured it with some hot glue. And then I stacked the smaller wreath on top of it with a little bit of moss in between like this, and then I secured it with some hot glue as well. And once everything was secured, I wrapped this garland at the bottom here. Then I took some of the stems and twisted them around each wire to add more texture. Then I took this berry garland and I wrapped it around the middle here, but before I do that, I removed some of the stems to twist around the rest of the wire as well. Then I went ahead and twisted these berries around the wires, some twisted up and some twist them down. Then I placed this leaf garland in the bottom. And then on the very top, I added some moss to cover the metal fixture. And for the stem, I decided to hot glue this cork on the top of the moss like this. Then hot glue few more leaves around the cork. Then I continued adding more berries until all the wires were covered with berries. And here is how it turned out. I actually made two of them and I thought they look absolutely beautiful. In this video, I am sharing how I recreated these gorgeous curved candle holders using some hula hoops from Dollar Tree. So I found my inspiration in Pinterest at Macy's.com, and the ones at Macy's were super pricey. As you can see here, the price was a little bit over $380, and I recreated mine for under $10. Now let me show you how easy and affordable this project was, and here I am showing you what I needed for each candle holder to make. So I picked up 6 of the small size hula hoops from Dollar Tree, this black spray paint that I already had, and this LED pillar candle from Dollar Tree as well. And I had 3 of these can lids that I repurposed from old projects, and of course I need some hot glue. So I'm gonna start off with removing the sticker wrap that is around all the hula hoops. They come off very easy. You just need to find the first piece to start peeling. And once all the wrap is off, then I open each hoop and remove the beads inside. Now for the larger hoops, I cut about 1/4 off, and I am using the scissors here. It does the job perfectly, so use whatever you need to use. Then I interlock the hoop back together. Be careful with bending. Feel free to use some hot glue for extra security. And here I am trying to see how I will assemble them before painting them. Once I finish the 2 hoops that are same size for the large candle holder, I go ahead and do the same thing on the medium ones and small ones. And as I was cutting these hoops to the desired sizes, I noticed that it was easier to interlock the larger ones together. Then the medium ones were okay, but the smaller ones was really hard to interlock them together, so be extra careful not to cut too small. I really wanted the small candle holder to look much smaller than what I ended up with, but as I said, it was really hard to bend the hoop. As you see here, I was being extra careful. And once it's interlocked, make sure to use some kind of hot glue or E6000 for extra security. At first I didn't use any, and one of them just popped, so I went back and added some hot glue to all. And here I have all 6 of them ready to be assembled. At this point, you might need someone to help you hold while you are gluing them together. I did it on my own, but I struggled a little. So at first I started gluing the lid at the bottom between the 2 hoops. And once that was secured, I add some E6000 to the inside of the 2 hoops here where they connected. I also added some hot glue as well, and I hold for a few seconds. I did same thing with the rest until all 3 were ready to be painted. Now I took them outside and I will spray paint them with this Rust-Oleum black paint, but you could spray paint any color of your choice. Once they are dry, I will go ahead and add the LED pillar candle. I don't recommend using real candles with real flames because these loops are made of plastic and it will cause a fire. So pillar candles or battery operated candles would work perfectly. Here's the finished look of my curved candle holders. I absolutely love how beautiful they came out. I mean, they don't look perfect as the original ones, but with $10 worth, I think they look so cute. And I am so proud that I was able to recreate mine for less than $10 comparing to the ones at Macy's for $380. In this video, I am sharing this quick and easy DIY sign. So here I have everything that I might be using for this project, and most of the items came from Dollar Tree except the beads garland. that was from Canadian Tire long time ago. So I am starting off with this pizza pan and I will be using the back side of it. Also, I have this adhesive covering that was from Dollar Tree and I will use it to cover the base of my sign. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut a piece that will be enough to cover the pan. Then I peel the back of it like this and stick the first end to the pan and slowly peel the back all the way down. I am using a card to smooth it out and get rid of any bubbles. Then I cut the excess out. After that, I just use some hot glue and glue the beads garland around the pan like this. And once that's done, I have this stamp from Dollar Tree. I'm just gonna hot glue it here on the top. Then I go ahead and make a bow using 3 kinds of Dollar Tree ribbons. I am just gonna play with it until I like the bow. And once that's done, I fluff it, then glue it on the very top here. Lastly, I have this Happy Thanksgiving sign that I saved from another dollar store sign, and I am just gonna hot glue it here on the bottom. That's all for this sign. I thought it turned out so cute. I hope you enjoyed this quick and easy DIY project. So loving these trash to treasure projects. It's making me think outside of the box and get extra creative and come up with some beautiful home decor ideas. If you want to see how I made this farmhouse shabby chic look ladder, keep on watching. I have this wine rack that I got from Goodwill a while ago. I thought to give it some makeover job and I had it sitting in my garage. It was $4, but I only paid $2 when everything in the store was 50% off. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear this wine rack apart. Now here I have all the parts and I'm gonna go ahead and sand them a little bit with this sandpaper. Then I'm gonna wipe all the dust and set them aside. After, I go ahead and paint everything with this Rust-Oleum white chalk that I got from Home Depot. And as you can see, I am painting lightly, trying not to cover completely the whole thing because I still want some of that brown color to show underneath the white. And when everything is dry, I'm gonna go ahead again and sand everything lightly to give it that distressing farmhouse look. Do you see here how the edges are coming out? I really love this look. Now it's time to assemble my ladder. So what I'm gonna do first here is I am attaching each two parts together, and as you can see, they come in two different sizes. Half of them are lightly thinner than the other half. So I'm gonna go ahead, use some hot glue and attach first the thinner ones together like this, and then do the same thing on the other ones as well. Then I added some popsicle sticks at the back for extra security. And because this ladder is big and it's hard to show it on the camera, I decided to glue each part on its own. And when everything is dry, I attach the two parts together like this. I leave it here for some time until the glue is dry and it's settled. Then here's the finished look. I mean, it's not perfect, but I really love how it turned out. And with some decor items that I had around the house, I think this ladder came out absolutely beautiful. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Is this beautiful sign. Is simple and super easy to make, and I am using this wreath form from Dollar Tree and this sign also from Dollar Tree. I really love this sign, so what I'm gonna do here, I am just gonna glue the sign under the wreath like this and add some fall decorations to one corner. But first, I decided to add some twigs that I saved from my backyard. I'm just gonna cut these twigs roughly to the size of my frame. They don't have to be perfect or even, just about enough to frame the wreath and to give it that rustic look. And then I'm gonna go ahead and glue them to the wreath. Then I decided to just weave them through the wires that are already on the wreath, like you see me doing here, easier and faster. Then I will add a dabs of glue every here and there to secure everything together. And once that's done, I am gonna place the sign under the frame and glue them together. Then I will go ahead and style this corner with some fall picks and some flowers that I already had on hand. And here is the finished look. I absolutely love how it turned out. For this project, I am using this Dollar Tree plastic tray that I already spray painted with rose gold color. I am just gonna glue this floral foam in the middle like this. Then I'm gonna add some Christmas picks that I had from Dollar Tree. But first, I need to add some Spanish moss to cover the floral foam. Then I play around, add more of these Christmas picks and some berries. Then I add this snowman in here. And some more of these Christmas foliage. And that's how it came out, absolutely beautiful. I love starfish and I didn't want to go out shopping to find them, and I wanted to include them in my decor. So I found a recipe on Pinterest called saldo to make the starfish, and I thought to give it a try. So I mix 1 cup of table salt with 1 cup warm water and stir it until the salt is dissolved. Then I add 2 cups of flour and mix until dough forms. And as you can see here, it's a little bit hard. At this point, feel free to add some flour while you kneaded it. I didn't use any, but you might need. So I went ahead and start forming my starfish. I just did what I thought it would look like starfish, so I made a few different forms of star, some big, small, flat, textured, and I even tried to make a snail. I just play with it until I finished the dough. And here how I placed everything on my tray. To the oven, I bake for 200 degrees Fahrenheit for almost 3 hours or until they are dry. And if you are not on a hurry like me, you can simply let them sit on the counter until they dry out. And here they are coming out of the oven. I am so happy with how they turned out. Now I will allow them to cool down and then I will go ahead and paint them. Now it's time to have some fun with painting. I also have some decorative shells from Dollar Tree and I will be painting some of them as well. So I use this Ocean Breeze acrylic paint that was from Michaels with a dab of navy blue from Michaels as well. I mix it well, then brush over the Starfish. And once that's done, I go over it and wipe off some of the paint with a paper towel like you see me doing here. I paint few in this same color and some in just white. Once they were all dried, I used the dry brush method, which I used some brown color and dip my brush in it and try to wipe off some color on the napkin, then brush over the edges to give it that distressed look. I do that on the all pieces and then I use same method but this time with gold color. Now that everything is dry, I go ahead and use them to decorate or to embellish my coastal beach DIY home decor. So today I am sharing some of the DIYs, and in the next coming videos I will share some more DIY projects, and then I will show you guys my coastal beach home tour indoor and outdoor. So my first DIY group are these gorgeous coastal beach aqua color vases. To recreate this sunburst mirror, I am using this cardboard, and this 10-inch mirror was from Michaels for $6, but with my 50% off coupon I only paid $3. These very long skewers that I got from Dollar Tree, and they came in a pack of 12, and I might use about 3 bags. Some leftover rope and this metallic spray paint in satin color, and of course some hot glue. I am starting off by removing the stickers on the mirror and then trace the mirror onto cardboard piece as you see here. I also traced this pot lid that you see, it's a little bit bigger than the mirror. Then I went ahead and cut it. And then I tried to find the center here and draw a vertical and horizontal line, creating 4 sections, and so on until I have 16 sections. Then here are my skewers, and I cut the tallest 8 about 16 inch. And glue them on the first 8 main lines like this. Next, I cut the shortest 8 about 10 inch and I glue them in between the tallest ones. Then the next group, I cut 16 equal pieces about 14 inch, and I glue them in each side of the tallest one so they will become shorter and shorter in order. Next, I cut another 16 equal pieces, but this time 12 inch, and again I glued them next to the shorter ones like this. Also, I cut another group of 16 equal pieces, 11 inch tall, and I'm gonna glue them next to the shortest ones like this. Last group of 16, I cut them about 10 inch and glue them close to the shortest one like this. And here how they look for now. I'm taking it outside in the garage to spray paint it. I actually wanted it in a gold color, but I only have this satin color on hand, so I am using what's available right now. And once that dry, I bring it inside. And for the wall hanger, I use this can tab. And to secure it, I cut the back a little bit, then stick the can top into the cardboard, then add some hot glue to keep it in place. Then I flip it on the other side to add the mirror, and I added some hot glue on the back side of the mirror, then glue it into the center of the skewers. And because this mirror had no frame, I decided to add this rope that I had around for a very long time, and I just glue it around the rim of the mirror to give it that finished look. I really love the finished look of my Sunburst mirror. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful and classic. I am so happy with how it came out with way less money than the original one. I think the whole thing cost me less than $10. Moving to the next DIY, I will need a couple of these giant barbecue skewers from Dollar Tree, some of the smaller ones as well, and some of these toothpicks. Also one of these craft dowel pins from Dollar Tree. And I'm gonna need a tap of any bottle that you might have around or you think your tea candle will fit in it. And you will need a candle or tea light if you prefer. And I will need a black spray paint. So at first, I'm gonna cut the skewers about 3.5 inches long, and I'm gonna need 4 same size to use for the legs. Then I try to smooth the ends with this scrubbing paper. Then I need to cut some of these thinner skewers. I need about 3 inches long for the antlers, and these toothpicks I need to cut about 3 small pieces for each antler. I will also need to cut a piece about 3 inches long for the neck. Now it's time to assemble my deer. I will hot glue every 2 legs together at one end, creating a V shape, and I will do the same thing on the other 2. Then I hot glue every 2 to each side of the tab like you see me doing. Then I hot glue this small dowel to the neck, and that's gonna be the head. Now I will go ahead and glue the antlers together. And after I am done, I glue the antlers to the head like this. Last thing to complete this deer is to cut about 1 inch piece for the tail and hot glue it on the top of the back legs like this. And done. I think he already looks cute, and now I am gonna go ahead and make another one same way. Then I will take them outside and spray paint them with this Rust-Oleum black spray paint. And here is the finished look. I absolutely love how adorable they came out. Next DIY, I thought to make these beautiful candle holders for my tablescape, and I am using 4 of these plastic cups and 4 of these plastic ice cream cups that I picked up from Dollar Tree at summertime. I'm just gonna use some E6000 and attach them together. You can use hot glue if you prefer, but I did mine the night before, so I had plenty of time for them to dry. And once they were dry, I took them outside and spray paint them with this same rose gold spray paint that I used on the thankful words. And here how they look. I think they came out really cute. I already had everything in my craft stash, and everything came from Dollar Tree except the Starfish. I DIY'd some of them using Saldo. I will link that video down in the description box in case you want to see it. So what I'm gonna do here is really simple. First, I will paint these clothespins in 5 different colors, and as you can see, I pinned them on the rim of this box like this to make it easier for me to paint them. And I am using some of this acrylic Ocean Breeze from Michaels with a dab of navy blue. I used this combination with almost all my DIYs that I am using for my coastal beach theme. Then I will go ahead and paint few in this color. And then I will add some acrylic white to this mixture, stir it well, then paint some pins with this color. And then for the remaining mixture, I add some more of the navy blue and give it a stir, then paint another group of pins with this color. I also paint some of them in just white and some of them in brown color. I am using the inside of the wreath like this, and I will pin them on the smallest circle, then glue the bottom part on the biggest circle like this. I will try to replicate the one in my inspiration picture as much as I could. that, I go ahead and add some coastal beach decorations using some hot glue. Next step, I add the bow and I use some of this burlap ribbon that I had for a while. I will just make a simple bow like how you see me doing here. Final step, I add some of this cotton rope here on the top to hang it on the door. And here how it looks on my front door. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. Next DIY is this gorgeous beads garland. I had 3 bags of these wooden beads. They are ornaments, I believe. They came with some more stuff in a bag for only $1 that I got at the garage sale. And I'm using some cotton wine and some paint. So at first I will paint some beads in this same mixture I used on the clothespins. Then I try to wipe down some of the paint to give it that ombre look, and I allow it to dry. Now to make the tassel, I'm gonna take this cotton twine and wrap it around this notebook about 50 times. Then I remove it and I take small piece of twine and tie it a couple of knots on the top here. Then I take another long string and put it through the middle of the bundle like this and tie a couple of knots. So this string will be the same one that I will insert into the beads, so I make sure it's long enough. Then I take another small piece of twine and wrap it around the bundle close to the tied end. Then I tie it and secure it with a bit of hot glue. Then I cut through the bottom end of the bundle. I give it a shake and then I trim any extra pieces. After that, I take the 2 strings and glue them together, then thread the first bead into the string like this. And for extra security, I add a drop of hot glue to the bead by the top of the tassel. Then I add the bead that is not painted, and then I add the blue bead. I repeat to the end. Then I use this piece that came with the beads to secure the end of the bead. Now for this end, I could add another tassel, but I wanted it to look exactly like the one in my inspiration picture. So I'm gonna choose one of these shawls and I will glue the strings inside the shawl like this. Then I add extra glue for extra security. I think this beads garland came out super cute. I really love the neutral color and the blue color together with the ombre look. Next project is really cute and super easy to make. I am gonna need 2 of these fall signs that I had from Dollar Tree, 3 of these ho 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 sign from Dollar Store, some greenery and picks from Dollar Tree, and some paint. So first thing I'm gonna do here is that I am gonna use some of these craft sticks to hot glue on the back of these 2 signs to attach them together. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and paint it with this linen chalk paint. And once it's dry, I will draw some straight lines like you see me doing here to give it that shiplap look. Then I use some of this brown paint and I use the dry brush method on the edges of the sign. And I brush close to these lines as well. And once I finish that, I sand the edges to give it that distressed look. Next, I bring these ho 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 signs and hot glue them on the sign like this. Then I take some leftover evergreen and glue it on the top like this. Also, I am adding some more greenery and pine cones, then add some red berries. Last thing I'm gonna do here is tying these 2 pieces of twine together to create a hanger. And that's it for this project. I think it turned out so beautiful and so festive. So here what I'm gonna need for the first project, and everything came from Dollar Tree. So at first I'm gonna need a base for my centerpiece, so I am using this piece of cardboard. You can definitely use anything, an old sign from Dollar Tree or any piece of wood that is flat. Next I'm gonna go ahead and hot glue some of these bamboo sticks that I had from Dollar Tree since summer, so I'm just gonna lay them flat on the cardboard like this. Next, I'm gonna hot glue my candle holders in place like this. And then I'm gonna cut some of these sticks and continue gluing them randomly in between the candle holders.
And once I am happy with how I like them, I cut some of these wired garland ties to small pieces and glue them randomly on top or in between the sticks like you see me doing here. Then I remove some of these berries and parts of the greenery and glue them in between the sticks as well. Also, I added some pine cones and some lights. Lastly, I wanted this centerpiece to have that frosty winter wonderland look, so I sprayed some of this snow on certain areas and I think it looks so beautiful. Easter signs that I picked up from Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna use the back side of it. And instead of mason jars, I thought to use this Classico sauce jar that I saved to reuse for some project, and I have two of them. Some jute twine. Also, I am using two of these cabinet knobs and some greenery and florals. Firstly, I need to paint my signs and the jars with this acrylic white color from dollar store. I am leaving this jute to hang them with it. Then when everything is dry, I'm gonna use this brunette color and use the dry brush method to give it that distressed look. Then I am mixing a little bit of same brunette with some water and brush lightly over the signs. And then when everything is dry, I'm gonna glue these knobs to the signs using some E6000 with some hot glue. Then to hang these jars, I'm gonna take some twine and glue one end on this side of the jar like this, leaving some twine out, and glue it again to the other side as well. Then I'm gonna wrap the rest of the twine around the jar couple of rounds to make it sturdy and strong. Then add some more glue to the end. And lastly, I'm adding a little bow to finish it. Now I'm gonna insert some flowers that I had in hand. I am just gonna play around with it. You could also find some beautiful flowers at Dollar Tree. Final step would be hanging these jars to the signs, and there I think they turned out super cute.
If you make it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found these ideas helpful, and if you did, please like, share, and comment below which one was your favorite. Also, make sure to visit the playlist for tons of inspiration, and come follow me on Instagram for more fun DIY and decor ideas. Thank you again for being here. I hope to see you back in the new year. Until then, be well and have fun.